Hello and welcome all. Welcome to today's workshop on storytelling with songs, brought to you by the team MAST. And we are here. We are thrilled to have each and every one of you joining us using this virtual platform. Before we delve into this enchanting world of storytelling, we'd like to take a moment to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the CS of 2024 and to Eric Miller for giving us an invaluable support and for providing us with this wonderful opportunity to connect with all of you. All right. In this workshop, what we will be doing is we'll explore the art of weaving narratives with melodies, employing songs as vibrant threads to enhance the tapestry of our stories. With a blend of imagination, emotion, and rhythm, we embark on this journey that will captivate your senses and ignite your creativity, or probably even go back into your childhood days. So without any further ado, let's embark on this adventure together. Get ready to be transported to the distant lands to feel the highs and lows of big tides and to discover the magic that lies within the harmonies of storytelling with songs. Welcome once again. Let's make this workshop an unforgettable experience. My name is Shifa. I am from the team MAST. MAST, as we had already mentioned, it is the Madras Association of Storytellers, where again, we wanted to have MAST. We took the name MAST from the Hindi word again. All right. I have my other team members, Mohan and Geeta, who has joined us today. So you will be hearing from them too. All right. Before I begin, I have a small request with all of you. Every time I clap, I want you to say, Meena says. Can we try again?
Meena says.
Meena
Yes.
says.
Meena says.
So
Meena
every
says.
time I clap, you say Meena says. That's when I will continue with my story. Have I made it clear?
Meena says.
Meena
says.
On a lovely morning, as Meena opened her eyes, she heard a knocking at her bedroom door. Meena gets up to open the door. The moment she opened, her friends sprang in with giggles and laughter, asking Meena, Yaro, Yarodi, who is your husband? Yaro, Yarodi, who is your husband? Meena was stumped. Oh, now, could anyone tell me what is happening here? So her friend says, You know, Meena, you're a beautiful cockroach and who's also well educated, and you're 21 days old today, and it's time for you to get your leg in marriage. Then Meena responded, All right. Meena's friend was all puzzled up to ask, So, what kind of a man are you looking for?
Meena says.
Meena says.
So, I'm looking for somebody who actually meets my wit and knowledge. So I will test them with my knowledge and choose them myself. As I will ask them a question and they should answer that. Hearing this, Meena's family, everybody in her family, from far and near, came bearing gifts as she was going to be getting her leg in marriage. But her grandmother alone says, Meena, you're beauty with brains, and you'll find the best suitor with your own knowledgeable skills. So Meena was beautifully draped in a golden yellow silk dress, which came from Kanchivaram all the way from her aunt. She braided her hair with flowers and sat waiting for a suitor by her window. First came the rowdy, the rooster with glasses, dressed up like a Rambo. He came singing, In the barn, I will take chance, tiny rouge, let's romance. From this love nest, no need to flee, marry me, my crunchy sweetie. Hearing this, Oh, Rooster, you seem to be singing so well, but you can marry me only when you answer my question. Rooster says, I can do anything to make you my wife. I am the most knowledgeable bird and I can fly. You can ask me anything you want.
Meena says.
Meena says.
You could wait 27 days or you could see it every day. Rooster scratched his head and says, Oh, you can see me every day, dear. You don't have to wait for 27 days. Oh, Meena says, since your answer is not correct, you will have to find yourself another bride. Oh, hearing this, Rooster got very annoyed. He's like, "Cock-a-cock-cock, cock-a-cock-cock." And he said, oh, I don't want to marry you anymore. And he flew away. Meena was, as it is, tired with the first suitor. And the next suitor came along in full enthusiasm. And it was the jumpy monkey that came in singing and swinging. Come on, Meena Kutti. Come on, Meena Kutti. Won't you be my wife, Kutti? Won't you be my wife, Kutti? You only make me jumpy, Kutti. You only make me jumpy, Kutti. Meena the cockroach was like, oh, you seem to be jumping and singing at the same time. Meena, okay, I have a question for you. What is the fire that my father lit that burns in the night and does not burn in the day? Monkey was like, oh, I don't know what your father lit. The question is itself wrong. You will have to ask your father and not me. Oh, you keep your light on or you keep your light off. Ask your father to burn it out or burn it in. I am not bothered. So he went away. Oh my God. Meena was really exhausted by then because she had already found two suitor and none of the suitor was making sense. When she was just getting over her tiredness, she could already feel the third suitor sneaking up on her. How nice! That happens to be the go-colors chameleon. And the chameleon came singing, I'll change colors to make you swoon. A dinner date just as two. For dessert, I'll eat you. Oops! I mean, for dessert, I'll make you some stew. Oh, you seem to be having a nice hair and you have beautiful wings and legs. Will you be my wife? Meena says, you can marry me
Yes.
only if you answer my question. And her question is, always old, sometimes new. Never sad, sometimes blue. Never empty, sometimes full. Never pushes, always pulls. Chameleon was not interested in listening to the question. He was more slurping away to know how Meena would actually taste in his mouth. Meena must be really tasty. Seeing Chameleon, who was only interested in eating her, she shooed away the chameleon, who was angry, changing colors from yellow to orange to red to, and finally vanished in brown. Meena was completely exhausted for the day with all the suitors that she had had, and she said, I have had enough for one day. None of the suitors have brains nor the decency. When she was just about to move away, she sees the jolly mouse in the garden. As she saw him, her heart actually started to pound a little faster. So she started having a connection for this mouse. So she went down to her garden, and when she saw the mouse, and when her eyes met with the mouse's eyes, she could feel the love. Immediately the mouse asked, Meena, can I be your suitor? Meena replied, oh yes, only if you answer my question. I bare my face, yet cannot see, and one may find a love in me. I vanish often, not for long, and only sing my lover's song. Hearing this, the mouse was quiet for a few moments and looked up to starting to wonder, oh, what could that be? What could that be? And Meena was also looking at the mouse. What is he trying to say? God, whatever it is, please give me an answer to it. Oh, all that thing. Meena was again, what were you saying? And he was like, oh no, I have to say something to her, but I love her so much. How do I tell her? And immediately he said, I will dance to your tune. My love for you is in full bloom. You are my own little boon. In your eyes, I see the moon. Hearing this, Meena was impressed the way the mouse stole her little heart by singing the answer to her. She could not hold her excitement any longer. She wanted to share the happy news with her family that she found the suitor who is knowledgeable as her. So she ran into the house. After Meena ran into the house, the mouse was wondering what just happened. I just expressed my love to her, but she saw the answer. Oh God, for the first time, somewhere or the other, I'm not sure if I've done right or wrong, but I have done something wrong at the right time. Thank you. I have to tell you all a secret. I didn't know the answer at all. Somehow, God or the moon helped me. Anyway, let this be our own little secret. Meena does not have to know about it. All right, guys, I think it is time for me to go get ready. I have a wedding to go to, and my bride is waiting. And I'll see you at the wedding. And that's how Meena gets married to the jolly mouse in a Vaibhava. Meena Kalyana Vaibhogame. Meena Kalyana Vaibhogame. Thank you so much. This is the story of the mouse, the story of the cockroach who found her suitor. I hope you all like the story. Everybody seems to be quiet. Hello.
Like the story. It was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyway, okay. Uh, Before we continue with the workshop, I have my other team member, Mohan, who will be joining us, who will be taking you through how you could actually incorporate some other ways to tell your stories with other songs and so on. After we finish that part, we will tell you how you can actually divide your story on what basis to continue telling, adding songs to your stories to elevate it to a different level. Mohan?
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Nice to be with you all this evening, India time, 5:50. See, stories have been an integral part of any narrative. And music in the story dates back thousands of years, at least in India. At least I can go back a few thousand years when we look at stories in India. And these stories vary according to the region it originates from. So in Rajasthan, we have, ballads who travel singing songs and telling stories.
I know. So we go and come.
Somebody's can mute. Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much. So we had in Rajasthan, the northern part of India, we had a philosopher poet called Kabir Das. And his two-liners, couplets, were sung by the ballads of Rajasthan who moved from kingdom to kingdom and made it a very popular storytelling medium. There was a beautiful story of uh, a lady who earns her livelihood through, let's say, those days. We call it, I don't like to use the expression, they say a person who sings and dances for customers, and they used to call the person a fallen woman. It's not, I don't like to use the expression. I say a person who uses music, who dances and sings to customers, rich customers. And it was considered an improper way of earning a living. It was considered. So she lived in the banks of a river of Kashi. Kashi is a river town on Ganga, the northern part of India. And on the banks of the river, there was also a holy man. The holy man used to call her every day and counsel her that what you are doing is improper, immoral. You're not supposed to do that. She said, I have no other way of means of livelihood, so I do this. So she went about entertaining her customers, and he used to constantly meditate on God and things like that. So one day, God appeared, and he offered to take this dancing girl with him to heaven, and not the holy man. The holy man said, hey, whoa, I am the one who has been taking your name for these so many years, and you ignore me and go after this dancing girl? Do you also want dance in your state up there? God smiled and said, when she went through what you called an immoral activity, she was actually thinking of me. She thought it as a service to me. Whereas you, a holy man, was counting the number of customers that was going into our hut every day. So this story was told by Kabir Das in a very musical form. It was not Kabir Das music. People, the other ballads made it popular, and in 20th century and subsequently, they made it even popular with a slightly bouncy tune. The story goes like this. I'll also translate. I'll sing it in that original Hindi. I'll translate for it. It says, Mala pherat jug bhaya, मीठा न मन का फेर, माला फेरत जुग भया, मीठा न मन का फेर, कर का मन का डार कर, मन का फेर कबीरा, मन का फेर. So, mala is that rosary. Mala pherat jug bhaya. Life went by. You are counting the beads, but you have not changed at all. There's been no transformation at all inside you. So, it's drop the rosary and concentrate and change, transform. They're like that. Here about 900 plus dohas of Kabir Das. I use many of them for my management stories as well. Okay. Now, this storytelling tradition in India, as in Rajasthan, in Bengal, they call it Jatra. Coming down to Orissa, you had Gita Govinda. They had a very nice way of telling stories of Krishna. Coming down to Andhra, coming down to Tamil Nadu, you had Terukutu, you had Katha Kalakshema, then Andhra, then of course Karnataka, you had Kerala, Yakshagana, then Notankis. So India is rich in the tradition of song-based storytelling. As people, if you would like to use song-based storytelling, which I strongly recommend, there is something very important. It is called Sanchari Bhava. In Sanskrit, it's called Sanchari Bhava. People who have learned dance formally, traditional dancing, will know this. It's called Sanchari Bhava. The storyteller is just one person, but you are playing two roles, or plenty of roles. There should be a seamless transition between the roles. Okay. So there's a very popular song in Hindi. Mere to giridhar gopal, dusuro na koi. So it's a Meera bhajan. Meera is a bhakta of Lord Krishna. And you have to bring out in your storytelling both Meera and Krishna seamlessly. Okay, let's try it. मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरों न को. This is how normally will people do. Yeah. But when you say Giridhar Gopal, Krishna has to come out. So when you say mere to, it's a feminine action. Mere to Giridhar Gopal. So Krishna, you have suddenly transformed into Krishna, Giridhar Gopal. दूसरों न कोई. So the voice changes, the singing changes, the modulation changes. When you say Giridhar Gopal, you stand straight. So in all these songs, we can go on. We can go on for a very long time. Our objective today is to just introduce this bhava that when you sing songs, when you perform, you have to bring in these characters seamlessly. Let me give you one more song. It's a very popular song. Not, I mean, yeah, slightly older song, but very popular. You have to bring in both the characters out, okay? Strawberries, cherries, and an angel's kiss in spring. My summer wine is made from all these things. Man's voice. Now the woman says, take off your silver spurs, and I shall give you more summer wine. So when you sing this and tell the story, the man's voice has to come out, the woman's voice has to come out. And when he has finished, the lady has given him summer wine, taken away his scents and his silver spurs. But he still says, and she left me aching for more summer wine. Drunk, and he still wants, summer wine. So if you can bring this all in your voice modulation, in your expressions, in your body language. So when you're drunk and finished, oh, summer wine. But when you're walking into time, strawberries, cherries, and an angel's kiss in spring. So you have this adds sheen to your storytelling. Thank you very much. We'll take you through the workshop.
Thank you, Mohan. All right. Geeta, could you spotlight this, please? Thank you. All right. I have an activity for you too. I'm going to first take you through what I did and what Mohan had did this now. Now, if you look at my story, this was a very, very simple story that was taken from a Cuban folktale, but I added flavor of an Indian, South Indian flavor by giving a marriage theme to it. That was what my theme was. When I fixed the theme for the marriage, I came across for the South Indian, wherever you will incorporate songs or wherever a song could be used in a South Indian wedding, I portrayed all those things here. So if you look at it in the beginning of my story, from the beginning till the end of the story, my protagonist, that is Meena, does not sing at all. Meena is always a very educated and a very skillful woman or a girl. So she does not sing. She has people around her who is always a common person who sings to her. First, starting with her friends who bumped into her room or who plunged into her room with singing, somehow giggling and singing and all. Second, every suitor who comes to see her was singing out to her to make her fall in love with them. Then also, she did not sing. She was only asking questions. So I wanted to incorporate songs only when it comes to Meena. So when people are coming to Meena, they will come with a song. That is where I try to incorporate. And finally, even her wedding, Vaibhogam, Kalyana Vaibhogam, we wanted to put it as we wanted to give the South Indian flavor. That is why I chose Kalyana Vaibhogame. Have I made that clear? Now, there are three other different types we can actually use songs. One, use a song in the introduction of your story, in the middle of your story, and at the end of your story, where this three times when you're using the song, it should elevate your story. Second type, you can make only a protagonist to sing, that is your character alone to sing throughout the story, where this character is only a singing character to show that. When you're using a song for the kids, when you're using songs in stories for kids, it is always advisable that you use a repetitive or a rhyming song which can be adapted. Like here also, I used only a word, a repetitive. Every time I clap, what did I ask you all to say?
Meena says.
Says. Exactly. Similarly, when you're actually using a song to tell a story for children, you will have to look at a song which would be rhyming and which will be remembered throughout. If you look, you remember, I try to adapt tunes which could be learnt by the kids easily. Something like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, or Baba Black Sheep, Humpty Dumpty, Hickory Dickory, anything of your choice. But as long as you're able to adapt it with the children. Have I made it clear? Next, the third part is you can only use a song only for every twist and turn that you want to bring it in the story. It could be the protagonist itself singing, or it could be somebody. Every time there is a song coming, like in the movies, every time the same background score comes in, or there's something going to happen. So every time you want to emphasize a twist or a turn in the story, you can remind for a song. Got it? So these are the three ways. Otherwise, you can also narrate a story like how Mohan did, a couplets or a ballet. You can even say throughout and finally end it with a song. That is also advisable. Not only in India, and not only in across India. In India, if you look, especially in Tamil Nadu, we also have Villapattu, we have Kala Shevam and all that different forms of religious storytelling, which uses tunes to tell more mythological stories around us. So, never, I would say, singing to tell stories is never out of style and it will never go out of style. So, I request all of you to give it a try and we will see how we could adapt it. Now, if you're all ready, can we have everybody on gallery view? I will give you all a story and you can be as creative as you can and come up where all you want to incorporate a song with it. Take your time. We will give you up to 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, if you want to break, instead of a breakout room, let's hear it from each one of you also. Got it? All right. The story is this one. You all must have heard of the hare and the tortoise, where the hare and the tortoise, they have a debate and they say, let's have a race and let's see who is the fastest. Am I right? So let's take that story and see how well, what is the theme that you want? You want to bring friendship in them or you want to bring competition in them? How you would want to incorporate it? You want to use a Tamil song or a Hindi song in between to show, ye dosthi or Niya Nana Pakalam, all that thing, any way you want to bring it, how are you going to incorporate a song with it? Probably introduction, how each one of them, you can, not necessarily it has to be the same ending as the classic one, where the hare sleeps and the tortoise wins, or probably, we have another race or take a best of three or whatever. I leave the imagination up to you. Your creativity, it is your ground. So take 15 minutes from now, rewrite the story, see how you want to add songs to it. What is that you want from the song to be understood by your audience? You want them to learn about their friendship, you want to learn about their tough hard work or competition or being truthful or loyal, whatever it could be. So take that 15 minutes to incorporate your own songs. The choice of words is absolutely yours. If you want to introduce a very common tune where you have heard and you think that will actually blend with it, you're free to use it. Can we have the timer on for 15 minutes?
Put them in the breakout room, Shifa. Cannot hear you, Shifa.
No.
You're on mute.
No.
Sorry. Okay. I am sure since we are only 16 of us here,
They can have an individual activity.
we don't need a breakout room. We will do it directly here itself.
Individual activity, right?
Individual activity, yes. Since we are only 16 of us, we will write it and we after minutes, let them share individually and we'll be.
There are many versions. We can choose any version, right?
Yes, that's what I said. The choice is absolutely yours. You want to make the hair win, you want to take the classic version, you want to bring a digital version, or the new Gen Z or Gen Z version, anything. That's what I said. You want to make them a competitor, you want to make them a friends forever, you want to make them help each other, you want them to cooperate and win. What is the song that you want to add and how you want to bring out the story? What is the theme that you want your participants to understand? That is all we are trying to look at.
Well, that's about the theme. But
Yes.
what I am understanding is that two ways we can use song is we can have the different characters sing.
That also, that's what it said.
And as Mohan said, they would sing with their own voices, so they would sing differently. And then another option is the narrator can sing about the story.
That is also there, Eric. As I told you again, this particular story that we are looking at, the hare and the tortoise, the hare can also sing, saying that, you know, I am boasting about myself, or the tortoise could also say, oh, whatever it is, I can still beat you and things like that. Somewhere in the process, both of them have a singing conversation also, it could be done. Or the narrator says the story and in between how the conversation goes also. It is purely up to them. So we don't want, that's why I said the imagination is up to them. All right. So shall we have 15 minutes timer on? Yep. And your 15 minutes starts now.
Shall I leave you on the picture or should I just make the picture blank? Yeah,
Either
yeah,
Either
yeah.
way. Anyways, it should be fine.
Okay.
The blank or this one also, no problem.
I'm afraid if we make it blank, people will think nobody's here and they'll go away.
No, you don't have to make it blank, then leave it like that.
But I'll pause the recording.
So as storytellers, we add the biggest flavors there. So you don't have to feel it's only simple and all. So you are the master of your own story.
You switch on your camera, Shiva. Switch on your camera. Rohini, I wanted
Okay,
to
we
say
can have everybody
something.
back.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought it was a picture of yourself because you were just seated like, you know, like a statue. I thought it was a picture.
No.
Oh my God, it's for real. She's sitting there.
Great. Yes, we have Rohini. Rohini, would you like to go with the story first?
Yes. The Hare and the Tortoise. Once upon a time, there were two friends, the hare and the tortoise, and they were the bestest of friends. They loved each other, they played together, singing songs. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when days are gray. You never know, dear,
Rohini,
how
we are not
much
able
I
to hear
love
you.
you.
Or is it only me?
No, it's only you. I can hear her. She's
You
loud and
never,
clear. You
yeah,
can.
you never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. So the hare and the tortoise were so good together, but the hare's friends always used to tease her, saying, "You're the smartest one, you're the cleverest one, you're the fastest one. How could you be the friend with the tortoise?" And they used to say, "Mighty brighty hare, you are the smartest one. Is the prickly tortoise your friend?" And they used to tease her every day. And so one day they wanted to have a competition to check who is the best of all. And the hare also has fallen victim to the teasings of her friends. So they had a race. And all the friends of the hare form a team to encourage her. "Dear hare, run, 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 run. Dear hare, run, 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 run. Dear hare, run, 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 run fast. Watch the tortoise go slow, 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 slow. Watch the tortoise go slow, 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 slow. Watch the tortoise go slow, 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 slow. Watch the tortoise." And they were laughing all around. As the hare and the tortoise were running, the hare all of a sudden fell in a muddy puddle. And the tortoise did not run away or did not want to reach the destination or to win the race. It stopped all of a sudden and tried to help his friend and pick the hare from the muddy puddle. And they both together completed the race. And the hare was so happy for his friend. And so he said, "Oh, oh, 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 oh. You are my best friend. You make me happy. You are my sunshine." And that's all. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. It was amazing. Superb, superb, superb.
That was
Thank
very
you so much.
nice. That was very nice.
Thank you.
Anybody else who would like to share their hare and the tortoise story? Yes, please, June. The stage is all yours. Come on.
Once in the jungle, there were two friends, Tortoise and Hare, and they had the most amazing friendship. It didn't matter that Hare was very fast or Tortoise was very slow. There were so many other things that made them great friends. Often you'd see them walking down the jungle path singing, "We are friends and we know it, yes we are. We are friends and we know it, yes we are. We always want to show it. Words over, oh, we're friends and we know it, yes we are." But one day, the king announced there was going to be a great race, and whoever won the race was going to be an advisor at the palace. "Oh, I can win that race," said Hare. "I'm the fastest animal in the jungle." And instead of singing his song with Tortoise, he sang a new song. "I am fast and I know it, yes I am. I am fast and I know it, yes I am. I will always in the race. I set a fast pace. I am fast and I know it, yes I am." And instead of doing things with Tortoise, he practiced all day long racing. Well, Tortoise said, I really valued our friendship and I miss it." "I miss it too," said Hare, "but being the advisor to the king is more important to me." Well, the day of the race came. All the animals were lined up. The king was there at the finish line, but there were no other animals in the race. Nobody wanted to compete with Rabbit, or Hare, I should say. But Tortoise was thinking, he shouldn't have that race all to himself. I might not win it, but I'm going to give him some competition. So Tortoise set out on the race. Now he was singing his own song. "I am slow and I know it, yes I am. I am slow and I know it, yes I am. I may not take some, it will take some time, but I'll get there in the end. I am slow and I know it. Yes, I am." And you know the rest of the story. The hare stops and Tortoise goes by, and that happens several times. But just towards the finish line, Tortoise sees the finish line and Hare is coming behind. And just before Tortoise crosses the line, he looks back and Hare has fallen. He's hurt his leg. He is moaning and groaning. The decision Tortoise has, should I finish or should I help my friend? He went back and helped Hare, and the two of them went over the finish line together. The king was so impressed that he made both of them his advisors. And if you go to the palace and stand under the window, you might hear them singing, "We are friends and we know it, yes we are. We are friends and we know it, yes we are. We are the best friend." Da, 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 da.
Wow.
That
Super.
was nice. That was beautiful. Yes, we are friends, and yes, we are. Thank you so much. That was very nice. Can we hear another hare and a tortoise story?
Okay, I'll go live.
Please.
Yeah. Well, listening to these beautiful stories, I'm losing my thread. Okay, how is my song going to go? But I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. And join and help me if I get stuck. All right. So once upon a time, many years ago, there was this beautiful jungle. Yeah. And in this jungle, as all jungles have, there were beautiful green trees, many beautiful creatures, birds chirping, animals running here and there. And but there was one special thing about this jungle, that everybody listened to the huge old tree that was there. All right. And on this tree lived, as you all know, a wise owl. And the tree and the owl, and the owl and the tree were very, very good friends. And they would talk to each other and come up with these fun ideas of keeping the jungle and all the creatures in the jungle very happy and entertained. And one such day, they called everybody together and said, "Okay, let's sing and let's dance." And so everybody came together, and they all started singing. And the tune went something like this: La 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 la. Well, there was so much of joy around the tune, but the tree and the owl said, "Well, it's not just singing. Okay, what we want you all to do is we want you to sing that one for all for one." Well, everybody started thinking, what is this one for all and all for one? They said, okay, let's begin. Like we two are friends, who else are friends here? So, of course, there was the rabbit, and there was the turtle. All right. And so they were like, yeah, one for all and all for one. How do we do that? So they said, throw us a challenge. And the challenge was, as everyone knows, that they had to run a race. Well, everyone knows that the rabbit, the hare, and the turtle, they started running a race. And well, the rabbit was running very fast and the hare was going very slow. So rabbit said, one for all for one. Not happening. Let me take a nap till my friend comes and then we will go ahead. Well, it was not to be. So the hare fell asleep, and the tortoise came, and the tortoise forgot. The tortoise kept walking, went ahead and won the race. Well, you can't do that. But the two of them held their hands and they said, "Man mein hai vishwas, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. We shall overcome one day." Okay, so what's the next idea for one for all and all for one? So, well, this time one more race, and then, as you all know, the tortoise said, "Come, I will start earlier, and then you follow me. So maybe you will win." And well, that did not happen, and the this time the hare forgot, and the tortoise kept walking slowly, and the hare won. Not happening. We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome one day. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome one day. Well, this went on, and the tree and the owl were thinking, what's going to happen now? Well, finally, the finale came, and then the two friends had actually decided what they were going to do. So they said, this time we are moving the inch post a little ahead, and we're going to cross a beautiful river that was flowing through the jungle. And so, well, what happened? As usual, the hare started first, ran, reached the river, and then the tortoise came slowly. It came to where the river was. The hare could not have crossed the river. And so he said, okay, sit on my back. And then together they swam through the river and reached on the other side. And then they sang together. मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. Well, coming back, the same thing happened. As they crossed the river back, this time the hare took the tortoise on his back, and together they rushed back to the tree. And then all the animals came around the tree and they all sang, we shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome one day. Ho ho, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall be one for all and all for one day. That's from me.
That was very nice. Very, very nice.
Thank you.
That was very beautiful. Where one person forgets, the other person forgets again, the third time, this time we have to make it together, where that bonding that you bring, this could be ideally used for kids when they can repeat the song and that they will register it throughout they learn lessons. First, they leave it and go. Second, they leave it and go. But again, they are repeating the same song. That is the bonding that you will have to build throughout your life or wherever you go. That is very beautiful. Thank you so much for bringing this. This, as
Thank
you will go back to your childhood days to refresh all your memories. It was very nice.
Yes.
Again.
Thank you.
Do we have a more story? Rajesh, would you like to share something?
I could not finish. Actually, I started something and just.
It's okay. Everybody can do that.
So, I mean, at the beginning of the story, I can read if you want.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So, सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम हंसी, सुहाना सफर और ये मौसम हंसी, हमें डर है हम खो न जाए कहीं. And here was a tortoise. He was really enjoying walking alone in jungle, and he was singing. And he really liked that song, and he used to sing Suhana Safar because for him, this journey was really fantastic. So he suddenly heard a sound, scrubbing sound somewhere. And then suddenly he started again. He continued his song. That means who is sitting in those bushes? पैर हिल रहे नजर है जमीन पर, कौन बैठा है झुड़पों में छुप कर, पैर हिल रहे नजर है जमीन पर. And then actually he saw the hare, the rabbit. He was actually he was digging on the ground, and then rabbit was really hungry, so he was digging, and he got his carrot. And भूख लगी मुझे, भूख लगी पेट को मेरे, भूख लगी, and he was digging, and suddenly he got his carrot. गाजर मुझको मिल गया, गाजर मुझको मिल गया. That means he got the carrot, and he ate his carrot really fast because he was hungry. And then he was there was a big he burped really loud, but he was not like his hunger was, I mean, he was still hungry. He noticed tortoise, somewhere, and he could see that the tortoise was about to move at a distance. So something clicked in his head. He knew tortoise had a really big lettuce farm, and it was very popular in that area. So he ate his gajar, that is carrot, but he was hungry. So he thought, why not let me do something and get some lettuces from his farm. And yeah, so I wrote till here.
Anyway, that Hindi versions of it, Gajar Mil Gaya. Oh, I really
Your
love
voice was good. Yeah, nice
Your
voice.
voice is good. You can actually adapt a lot of songs very quickly. That was wonderful, Rajesh. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Yes,
Can I?
please go ahead.
Yeah. So there was once upon a time, there was a challenge in the jungle that is there anybody who can just defeat the hare? Because hare has been the winner since so many years and years. So what happened? The tortoise actually wanted some attention. So he thought, what if I even don't win? Just people will know who is just challenging the hare. So he raised his hand and the race started. Okay, so the hare started running, and he was running. He thought just he will finish the race and just take rest, enjoy the way he used to do every year. But after running for some time, he just remembered that it is the tortoise who has challenged. So he turned back and saw that he couldn't see in the vicinity that the tortoise is there. So he thought, why not take some rest, aram karte hain, and then he just saw and he was just enjoying the jungle, the trees and everything. The cool breeze was just blowing and he was taking rest. And this tortoise, he was very happy that he was in the race and he wanted to he knew that his name will be there in this race, and then he wanted to motivate himself. He knew that he will lose the race, that also he wanted to tell himself, and he started singing. एक रास्ता है जिंदगी जो थम गए तो कुछ नहीं, ये कदम किसी मुकाम पे जम गए तो कुछ नहीं. And slowly he was singing, and after some time he came across the hare, and then he could see that he was in a deep sleep, and he smiled at himself and thought to himself, ओ सोने वाले हो सके तो छोड़ के आना. And he actually softly singing, and then he moved, and finally he reached the finishing line. Okay, and he couldn't believe himself, and he was so happy, and everybody actually they couldn't believe. Then finally he got that winning cup and everything, and then everybody asked, how did you win? What do you want to say? So then he thought, how did I win this? And then he said, रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के, कांटों पे चलेंगे, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at singing. So then he finally took the hand. He was very proud of himself. He actually couldn't believe how did this happen. And winning, the hare got up. He saw it with so much of commotion, that he just went to he found that the tortoise has won the race. So he also went to the finishing line just in a few seconds. Then everybody just asked, saw the hare, and then they asked, how did you lose? Every time you were the winner, what happened? So then he said, Yeah, मैं तो हर साल जीतता हूँ, क्या है? But then I was simply enjoying my life. It is not always winning. It is like enjoying life. I just enjoyed the jungle. I was just, had a good sleep. I had nice dreams and everything. So actually, winning that cup is not really my goal. And suddenly, everybody liked that idea. Oh my God, yes, winning the cup is not the final goal. He has enjoyed. He had enjoyed the jungle. He had a nice dream and everything. So people appreciated for his thoughts, and everybody clapped and everything. So the crowd which was appreciating this tortoise, suddenly they all moved to this here. And then, yes, picture abhi baki hai. Everybody moved, and this tortoise was taking his was walking slowly with his cup, and this hare came and near him and said, हारी बाजी को जीतना हमें आता है. So यहाँ के हम सिकंदर. That is it. Thank you.
That was very nice.
Sorry, I'm a very bad singer.
No. As long as you get through what you're trying to communicate in your singing, I think that purpose was achieved.
Especially when we know the tune, the
Yeah.
Josh is doubled actually. When we know the tune, no, it's so nice to connect.
And Rajesh,
And
I actually learned so much from you. I will try doing that. You are so wonderful.
Yes, we had Abida who wanted to actually say, Abida, are you there? Went off video. Yes.
Actually, this is the first time I'm participating in a story festival. And even I can say this is the first storytelling session. So I enjoyed thoroughly with all of you. So I would like to try my version of storytelling.
Please.
The tortoise is coming very slowly. Now the hare is telling, 1, 2, 3, 4, get on the dance floor. And he is calling the tortoise for the competition. But it's not a dancing competition, it's a race, running race. Now the hare is very happy and thinking in mind, yes, tortoise is very slow, I'm very active. And this tortoise is not only slow, I think it's very lazy. Why don't I take a chance to rule over him? Now the hare is ready to win the race. It decided that I'm going to win the race. But the tortoise, like a saint under a tree, slowly closed his eyes and was telling, okay. Now they started a race, and tortoise was like hopping, and having carrot in the pocket, eating, and actively it was jumping. At the beginning, everybody was very into, right? So it started jumping, and it saw a big banyan tree on the way, and turned out, oh, the tortoise is very far behind me. I got another chance to win the race. But looking at the banyan tree, such a big and old tree, it was happy to see the shadow and a cool breeze. It wanted to take rest for a while. While standing under a banyan tree, and the rabbit was thinking, hickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Even the mouse comes down, tortoise won't reach my block. Telling slowly, ah, so went for deep sleep.
Now the tortoise slowly reached the block. It won the race. All of a sudden, the hare wake up, again looking back. Oh, this lazy fellow had not reached yet. So I'm the winner. I'm going to get the trophy. Everybody will be appreciating me. Claps. Oh, the sound of applause. Wow, daydreaming. Now it started. Okay, why should I hop fast? This time I can hop slowly. Then shocked. What is this? I can't believe tortoise has won the race. Oh my God. Now the tortoise was standing. First thing first, it came into my mind. All the words slowly was telling into his mind. Believer, believer. And it won the race. The moral of the story is don't judge anyone with their features or with their looks. That's how my story ends. Thank you.
That was very nice, Abida. Very, very nice. To make yourself to this. See, if you look at it from the time we started, the hare and the tortoise story, everybody had a different moral. If you look at it, one person had friendship to share, like Abida said, believe in yourself to build your own self-confidence. See, the same story, the songs that you used, you are highlighting what you want to convey from that story. If you read a book, normally at the end of the book or end of the story, you will find a moral which is being decided by the author itself. But when you elevate your story, the same story through songs, you're elevating it to a different level, what you want your audience to see. So we saw from Rajesh, we saw how he was, self-possessed. Rabbit was all by himself. He wanted his hunger, he had his own. Whereas Abida focused on, believing in yourself. You might be slow, you might be slow in walking, but believe in yourself, you will always win. Similarly, Meenakshi also had her own version of it. So everybody had a different version. A dosti was there. June was, focusing on friendship bond between each other. It was the same story, but see how each one of you have, lifted it off well. Anyway, thank you so much again. With this, I hope you all have understood how your songs add more flavor to your own story. So before we wind up, I have Geeta from our team who will actually help us to summarize this. And before we close, do any of you have any words for us?
I thoroughly enjoyed the session, and music and stories always go together. And I just wanted to add one thing. I didn't write any version of the story, but for birthday parties and all that, this is sung in a tune form. And I'll just sing one verse because it brought back so many memories and it resonated with me, having heard it so many times. Sasa tu sasa ki kapus zasa tani kasvashi paizlavili. Vege vege dhauni dongaravar जाऊ ही शरीयत रे अपली, and it goes on.
Nice.
Yeah. So the whole song, the whole story is sung in verse form.
Wow.
And for children's birthdays, it's very popular.
Oh.
I just remembered, it was.
Oh, I'm hearing it for the first time, but anyway, we have to go look at it again to see.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So thank you, dear participants. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. And songs and stories complement each other so well. And of course, yes, it enhances the storytelling effect. And I don't know how many of you deal with children, but when you tell a song, in the middle of the story or the starting or the end, the kind of, reaction that children especially, they give when they listen to the song, it's so good when we, instead of the boredom of, simply narrating the story, when you add a song, it just goes to another level, I would say. So those who are dealing with children, please try to add songs to your stories. And also, especially for Indians, we are always connected to songs. I don't know, for many years in our, religious discourses, in our temples, in everywhere, it is, if there's a story, it has to come with a song. It comes in a song format, and from the north to the south end, it's always songs and stories which go parallel together and enhance each other, and the effect is just superb. So thank you, participants, for your timings, for your time, for your presence, for your active participation. And Mohanda wants to add something else. Yes, Mohanda. You're on mute.
Just wanted to say this story to that song which she sang. What's her name? Meenakshi. That's a lovely song. एक रास्ता है जिंदगी जो तुम गए तो कुछ नहीं, जो कदम किसी मकाम पे जो जम गए तो कुछ नहीं. Lovely song. It was wonderful. It impressed me and touched me so. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the MAST team. We had a MAST time today. I mean, lovely ideation. It was like sitting around the tree and everybody like, yeah, it's going to happen. And so beautiful, the whatever ideation we did or we created something on the spot. So much of excitement and fun. Learned a lot today. And thank you so very much.
Thank you again.
Yeah.
Rohini, would you like to add something? June?
Yeah, it's a wonderful session, very unique, throughout the CSF. This has been, every participant was, it was so alluring for all of us to do something, put our minds together and bring some creativity. That was wonderful. You made us sit at the edge of the seat and pen down something, and it was totally on the fly, and everybody sang so beautifully, and all the songs, we were rhyming, we were singing along with them. That was beautiful. Thank you so very much. Mast tha, bahut acha tha.
Thank you. So we did make justice to our mast. Am I right?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yes, June, you had something to say?
I just wanted to say thank you. And it was very nice for me to hear songs from India. I don't hear them very often, and it was very musical. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Yes, Rajesh, you had raised your hand, please.
Yeah. It was very good to see that having just two characters, but we can spin different stories around those characters with different settings, and the way story, every personality has their own ideas and how they start stories and what things. So actually, for the first time, I learned this from this session. I'm really thankful for that. Thank you very much.
We are honored. Thank you so much. All right. Anybody else who would like to say quick words before we move to the next session, I guess? I think the other session is already ready also. Anybody else? All right. Thank you so much. Before we wind up, I just want to say again, thanks to Eric and to CSF 2024 for giving us this wonderful opportunity and giving us this virtual platform to connect with all of you. Though we've been from COVID, we've all been staying far and wide, but still we've been able to connect through this platform. Thank you again, Eric. Please keep doing this good support for us. Every year we'll be able to at least connect worldwide. Let's get this more offline also very frequently.
Well, thank you very much. It was a wonderful workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.